All right, and our warm-up procedures all wrapped up, so we are moving on into our rider meeting so we can get racing started. All riders, please gather on the infield for a brief meeting before we get racing underway. Rider meeting on the infield. And with that, welcome. It is Friday Night Racing here at the Velodrome. We're bringing up our first group. It's the Cat 3 Men to the Rail. My name is Corey, and I'll be your host for tonight to try to hopefully make sense of all the racing, have a lot of fun with you talking about the racing action, and of course, update our riders about what's going on during the race all throughout tonight. Split scratch race coming up now when the riders are in the neutral. I'll let you know what the rules are for our audience so we know how this thing's going to roll. And the riders are now into the neutral. You're going to see a lot of this tonight when the officials give the information. We'll send them off into a neutral lap. Racing is neutralized until they hit corner 4. If they're all together, they'll get another whistle signaling that racing is underway. Split scratch racing is like a scratch, but with a middle objective. So a scratch race, which we're going to see later tonight, that's just scratch distance. You set the number of laps. Riders go that many laps. Whoever's the first rider across the line is your winner. I think that's what we mostly think about when we think of a traditional race. The split scratch has two goals. You've got a midway point and the end. Both are going to be run like a points race. 5, 3, 2, and 1 to the first 4 riders. So 2 opportunities to pick up points. A midway scratch and then a full distance. Rider with the most number of points will be your winner. Ties broken by position on the final sprint. And the signal from the officials means racing is underway. We got a couple things going on this weekend. One, of course, is the current weather pattern has turned a little chilly on us here in June. We're reminded that it's still sort of spring weather here in the Pacific Northwest, as we were spoiled a week ago with some nice heat here at the Velodrome. And the other thing going on this weekend is we've got a big criterium race this weekend, and some of our riders taking a bit of rest this week. So you'll notice that some of our fields are a little lower than they've been through the rest of this season. The Cat 3s are no exception tonight, as this is one of our smaller groups we've had from them all season long. They've been a great competitive group. Nice to see Ruth Tomko, usually racing in our open women field. They'll be jumping in this group tonight. I think that's going to pick up the pace actually quite a bit, as they've been our season leader for the open women throughout this preseason and early part of the regular season. A couple other of our great regulars here tonight. One of them, Peter Snoblin, right at the front, leading things off on this opening lap. They were racing a 14-lap scratch. That means when the lap cards say 8 to go, they will be getting their first bell. Points as they cross the line at 7 to go. That's their first opportunity to pick up points. They'll get a few laps away from that quick sprint, and then they'll try it again at the end. You'll hear a bell at 1 to go, and then as they cross that final finish line, once again, 5, 3, 2, and 1. There goes Tomko on the front. This is one of our junior riders. Again, usually if you're out here watching on a Friday night, you'll see them racing with the open women. Racing very strong after picking up a couple of big jerseys last year at Junior Nationals here at our Velodrome. They're continuing to show great progress and strength here this year. This is a smart move to race tonight with our Cat 3s. There's Conrad Mayer, number 305, been very active in this field as well, racing in the pink of Dyna Racing. Big figure here tonight in this field. Mike Jors in the teal, now coming to the front with that white helmet. If things stay together, he's a good sprinter and could find a way to pick up some big points in this group. So if this continues to be a bunch of 8, look for Jors to try to find position and maybe find himself in a good spot here amidst the first sprint coming up here relatively soon. They're seeing 10 to go, bell at 8. Snoblin, 341, back at the front again. There's Tomko, right behind the purple. Stan Douglas getting lined up here in our formation. Small fields means there's less places to hide, so the group's going to stay pretty compact. Make sure that there's a wheel to always be on, and it's less likely when you have less riders for there to be unnecessary aggression, these kind of intermediary attacks and moves. There's just not as many riders tonight for all the laps that they're doing, so they're being a little bit more conservative so far. Not a surprise. But before the bell, let's pick up a little speed here on the back end of this acceleration from Conrad Mayer, and getting some help from the homestands here as they know how to put their hands together, make some noise for the acceleration. The rider from Dyna putting up a big one here. This is setting up for what will be a pretty long effort, about a kilometer on our track if he can keep it up here before he gets the points. Still looking smooth and accelerating away. We'll check in on the field and see who's at the front. That's James Campbell Harris. That's back here in the bell for the rest of the field. James Campbell Harris, number 311 on the front, trying to do the work to keep this thing pretty close. 3 right behind, that's Ruth Tomko. Mike Jors, nobody's making a big jump yet to close down this gap. Good constant tempo from Campbell Harris. Right now the rider in pink still in control of the pace. And coming on the home straight, we'll pick up the big first 5. Let's keep our eyes peeled. Back to the field, it's James Campbell Harris down the sprinter's lane. On the outside, 320, 316, and 307 is the order I have it unofficially. Luca, I believe, picking up the 3. 6 to go. Your early leader, Conrad Mayer, after that big jump in front of the rest of the field, showing the great over-athleticism he possesses this season. This is a great opportunity for someone with good preparation to attack the field, and that's going to be Peter Snoblin trying to do something similar, but even a longer distance move. I really like the flavor of this one. He felt the field needing a little bit of breath here, just a second to get the oxygen back in the system, and this is a very aggressive move, not providing any rest for the field. So opportunity here for Snoblin. He's going to have to take this thing around the track 5 more times to pick up the points. The field, as you can see here, getting kind of lined up in the sprinter's lane behind Jors, number 307. One of our riders from Portland coming to the front there from Team Epic, East Portland Youth Cycling. That's rider Carlson, number 316, that pulls out of the way. One of the riders with points in that first sprint as well. He has 2. And look at the lone riding here from Rue Tomko. That's not going to do it yet. Rue's looking for help. They won't get it just yet. You can see Snoblin's got a nice lead here at 4 to go. He's opened things up. He's looking pretty comfortable, but not trying to drive too hard right now. This could be an opportunity for Tomko to close down a little bit on this gap. Number 3 working their way up a bit closer. The field does not want to let the speedy junior get away, though. You can see Mayer in the pink driving the train of the 4 riders here to hold on to Tomko, and that'll be enough to convince the junior to get up and out of that sprinter's lane and maybe join in on the wheel of the speedsters coming up behind them. Snoblin looking over the left shoulder at 3 to go. Still has a good gap here. If he wants to get the big payout, he has to keep driving this thing as hard as he can for a little longer. This is going to get dangerous, though, as Mayer looks like he's got Snoblin in his sights. He wants to try to finish this thing off. Your current race leader does enough work to get Snoblin back within reach, and as soon as Snoblin feels the pressure there, he'll pull up and relax just a little bit, let the field come up underneath him. I like the move from Snoblin to create some nice energy in the field. You'll have to sit back and recover for a little bit now as you'll come back to the back of the group. 2 to go. The rider from Portland on the front for a moment there, being joined by Luca in the gray. And there's your race leader, Conrad Mayer, currently in 3rd wheel spot. Final bell incoming. Ritter was hoping for Snoblin to take the lap. Yeah, I know, I hear you. A little bit of hesitation, and there's the bell. 1 to go. Snoblin will get right back in that sprinter's lane and take one more quick lap here at the front with this group bearing down behind him. Ryder Carlson in position right behind Snoblin. There's Luca and your current race leader. Now moving up and out of position a bit here, trying to get around the lead rider. A big acceleration from Ryder. He's got 2 points to his name, trying to find the final 5. This will bring him up to 7. This could be for the win. 5 points for the junior. 3 for Luca and 2 for Conrad Mayer. My quick calculation gives Ryder Carlson and Conrad Mayer the same number of points, 7 each. But because Ryder takes the second one there at the end, he will take the tiebreak. Moving right along, we're going to bring the Cat 1-2 men up to the rail for their split scratch.
Are you coming here? This guy freaking accelerated here. Why not?
16 laps on the lap cards for this split scratch. Our Cat 1-2 men field has been very competitive here in the early season. Lots of great speed and lots of great moments from this group already. We're always keeping our eye on our regular season leader, Merrick Gallagher, out in the field, as he has been a tough one to beat since, I don't know, pretty much all of last year. He's been kind of in charge of this field in terms of taking victories. But within each of these races, this group has been racing at top quality, top speed ever since we hit the preseason. Looking forward to this one, the Spud Scratch, getting the signal to start. 16 on the lap cards. Put your hands together for the Cat 1-2s getting underway. That's right, folks. They can't hear us. It's nice here at the Velodrome when we have a crowd on a Friday night and making some noise to celebrate and support the riders. We're going to get a bell at 9 to go. Your first opportunity to see who's going to be the leader at the midway point. One more time for our riders, if you are not starting for a race, just double check with our team here on the infield. Head over to the judges' stand and confirm that you will not be starting a particular race. I know some of our riders are sitting out a few of our events tonight in trying to conserve for tomorrow, is my assumption. Our group underway here. The orange is Serge Malikian. If you're a fan from last season, you would have heard his name plenty of times in the Cat 3 field, and he started there this season as well, but he's earned his upgrade points, so making his way up to join this group and already making his name called over the loudspeakers here early on as he gets a little bit of early attack in. Mr. G in the pink for Dyna Racing, Scott Grinsell, number 118 at the front, gives away now for Ben Flom of Fell Swoop Racing. That was number 110, Josh Sherfy at the front for just a moment. Coalition Racing Team in the teal and white. Still a few out until we get that first bell. You'll get the sound at 9 to go, and that again will be a sprint for 5, 3, 2, and 1. 2 chances to earn big points here, and you can already tell, again, just look at the general speed from this field. It is moving quick right from the get-go. 105 is Chris Wilson of the Found Cycling Guild at the front in that green jersey, wearing 105 again. That the first couple of numbers in each of the bibs that we put on the back there, those numbers that the riders race with, the first 10 will tell you their regular season finishing order from the previous season. So your 10th place rider is rider 110. Your first place is 101. So you can kind of get a sense of sort of those top riders from last season if they're wearing one of those numbers. Chris Wilson, a very frequent competitor here at the Velodrome and always figures into our racing when he shows up. Kind of bunching up at the front, a little bit of hesitation to take over. Riders looking around for someone to move up. Lots of national colors in here. Our riders are encouraged to, if they've won a jersey in the previous season in the event that they're racing, so a scratch in this case, or I don't know, is this under points? I don't know what it is, just in general. They can just wear them if they want, doesn't even matter. That's awesome. So you're seeing that because they've won national championships of any event. They're allowed in this now in our current rule book to wear the stars and stripes. They might as well get use out of the kit from their success from the previous season. As you can see, this field's got quite a few folks deciding to race tonight in their stars and stripes to show off their success from the previous season. And now the setup starting to get ready. You watch the field start to bunch up a bit here on the home straight as they're starting to position for this first sprint. Off we go at 9 to go. Summer Newlands has been awfully quiet in here. Now she's going to send forward this attack. Our Portland speedster has been very good from the field in these bunch sprint situations. Found a lane on the outside and just takes over the front. And now down the back straight, we've got the real drag race going. Baker's got a good wheel here. Number 108 is trying to come around and see if he can pick up some big points. Summer Newlands holding on very nicely here. It looks like Danielson, Newlands, Danielson, Baker, and Wilson will be your first 5. All the way around the track for Newlands. A great sprint effort there. I thought for a moment Baker had the acceleration to come out around in that third lane spot and pick up the 3, but he'll be bested by Tyson Danielson, I believe. And the official call comes in. It is Baker across the line ahead of Danielson. So I miscalled the earlier call. Your official point should go. Newlands in the lead with 5. Baker in second with 3. Danielson in third with 2. Chris Wilson in fourth with 1. Only one more chance to sprint, so these points ever so valuable. One of these 4 riders with points, if they can just get somewhere in that finishing order in the last sprint, they'll end up on the podium for this race. They just need to get a few more points in the second sprint. Tough to get 2 of them, though. That was a lot of effort spent just to win that first sprint. You can see, in fact, number 104, Danielson kind of going to the back. You can see a couple of those riders involved in the last one. They need to rest a little bit. They're finding wheels to get behind, reset the system a little bit, and see if they can compete on that second sprint later on. Grinsel, Siegel, and now Darlene all at the front. This is Mike Darlene racing in the blue for, still racing the colors of the Center Cycle race team. It's 101, Merrick Gallagher at the front for just a moment. He pulls up quickly to get out of the way. And here's an interesting move. A nice little opening for Quinn Kennedy. Now, this is an attack we see from this rider frequently. They've got great ability to go the distance. Good endurance, good overall power. Maybe not wanting to always be in the bunch sprints, though. So this is the kind of move that Quinn really thrives on. Nice move here at 4 to go. Let's see what can come of it. Number 132 is off the front. Harrison Devine, number 128. A name we've had at the track plenty, but it's been a few seasons since we've seen Harrison here. He's certainly been, I think, an accelerant for this field as he immediately does the work to try to start catching Kennedy. Ben Flom also willing to do some work for the field, brings us back together, and within about a lap, the attack is going to fade away. Quick response from this field. They want to keep this all together. Only 3 laps to go. Bell at 1 in your final chance for points. The riders up here at the front, none of these riders have points, so they're all looking for their first. In the situation that the rider with 5, which in this case from our first sprint, that was Summer Newlands, if Summer can't find any points in the last sprint, they are guaranteed not to be your winner because somebody's going to get 5 and they'll break the tie with them. So at the least, you got to hope that one of those riders from that first sprint is going to be able to find some more action here at the end of the race. Field goes a little bit high. Josh Sherfy for Coalition just keeps the pace underneath. Has allowed to slip away a little bit here. A sneaky move. Malikian thinks he can maybe capitalize on this as well. Look at the top of the field, the blue line. There's Summer Newlands, number 117, trying to position herself. Doesn't want to miss out on the opportunity. They know that they have to get something in the upcoming sprint to be the winner here in the split scratch. Decent gap opened up here to the leaders. They're coming into the bell lap. The field giving a lot of room here. Josh Sherfy timing this well. Getting the bell. 1 to go. Sherfy off the front. Malikian in pursuit, and the field getting the bell now. Keegan Fairbanks down the sprinter's lane, but Ben Flom, number 107, will take over at the front. We'll keep watching the field for a little bit here as we progress through the corner to see if they can catch on to the leaders at all, or this is going to be a sprint for 3rd and 4th place. Big speed coming down on the back straight as Chris Wilson's trying to take over the front. The rider in green moving around the corner. Grinsel positioning nicely as well. It will be Sherfy at the front for 5. Malikian for 3, and Grinsel for 2, just ahead of Wilson. Sherfy picking up 5. No riders from that first sprint get in the action twice except for Wilson. Not enough for him to get a win here tonight. It'll be Sherfy with 5 getting the tiebreak. Unofficially your winner tonight. A sneaky move. Back at 2 to go. Pays off nicely for the rider from Coalition. And we're having trouble making it to the warm-up circle tonight. Your open women field coming to the rail now for their split scratch. On deck, Cat 4 riders will be ready to go next. Then the Kiddie Kilo. Kids, you're going to be called here very soon. It is not too early to start heading over for your areas to kind of get lined up. Make sure you bring your numbers and your helmet. All right, off in the neutral we go. The open women have the same race format at 12 laps now. Hope you're enjoying the racing so far. Thanks for coming out to the park if you're here with us. If you're online on YouTube and hanging out, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you do, you can jump on the chat and join Mike Ritter, who can't be racing here tonight, but he's alone in the live chat hanging out and talking about the racing this evening. You too can ask a question or shout out a rider in the live chat. You just need to make sure you subscribe. Hit the thumbs up while you're down there. Support our channel in its growth and support of track cycling here in Redmond, Washington. The show has many more great moments to go. We are about to go into this race for the Open Women. As there is your signal to start. Racing's underway out of turn 4 and 12 laps to go for the Open Women. We got a good bunch here on the home straight tonight. This is going to be a good Friday night. I think, was it last season or maybe the year before that, where it was always turn 1 was where the rowdy bunch was. This year, it's not so much. Turn 1's nice and it's nice and calm over there. Now it's on the home straight. That's where the party's happening. Up under the building. That's what I like to hear. It's supposed to be the beverage garden, by the way, but that's also been very, tepid. Oh, there we go. Okay. The party's moved down from the beverage garden. Now I get it. That makes sense. 11 to go in our racing here. Just getting started. That's right. If you're here in the Velodrome, the beverage garden is open. If you want to come on over and enjoy a beverage from Postdoc Brewing and Locust Ciders, stop by and get an order for the delicious sandwich or pasta from the Wise Guy Italian food truck that's hanging out with us tonight. They'll be with us all through the evening, of course. Charlotte West over there at the front. You're going to see a lot of riders from this team. It's the black and blue of the Jerry Baker Juniors. We get to talk about them every week because, well, our velodrome is thriving in part because of the youth we've got here. About 50 riders on our development team. They train here regularly. It's all part of preparation for them to be great racers and great athletes, great community members, great citizens. We're trying to raise good young people here at the velodrome and do it through good sport. And, of course, that's all possible thanks to support we receive from this great community around us. We're able to provide bikes, great training and coaching at as a reasonable price as we can. We help these riders get to national competition, which this year, at least the travel cost is nice and low for the team. They're hosting nationals here again. USA Cycling Track Nationals happening here this summer once again. And you'll see plenty of those riders from the Jerry Baker Juniors competing. They're out here doing their preparation. Lots of riders from that group in this field this particular evening. One of their coaches was just at the front, Amara, and another of our coaches, there's Kelly, a former member of the team, now racing in the blue of Rice University. Grew up right here at our velodrome and has come back during the summer to provide coaching support and to continue racing her bike because that's the joy of the sport. There's Westover again at the front, riding on her signature orange frame. Helps her stand out against the rest of her teammates. Looks like, I believe that's Sarah Lynch right behind her. Feels like the race just got started and we're going to get our first bell. This is our first opportunity for points for the Open Women here tonight. At 7 to go. Points next time around. First 4 across the line. 5, 3, 2, 1. There's Tomko double dipping tonight. They have been strong enough to do it. I am excited to see where they go here in 2025. Darlene right alongside Tomko now fighting for the front of this field. I believe that's Watts in position 3 now for the Breakfast Racing team. Westover in 4th spot currently, and away pulls Tomko and Darlene. Ooh, good fight here from the coach. Holding on to the acceleration from Tomko, who's putting in the power and the time this year. And at 6 to go, Tomko, Darlene, Watts, and Westover is the order I got them. And your riders coming across the line now at 5 to go. Your leader, Broom Tomko, with 5 points. In second place with 3 is Darlene. In third place with 2 is Watts, and Westover in fourth with 1. Is the total of the points earned between the 2 sprints. We have 1 more to go, 1 lap to go. We see the group of 5 in the middle of the back straight is our field. They are the front of the race. A bit of a scramble here, as it looks like, I believe that's Edwards and a couple of our juniors falling off the pace, but Edwards making her way quickly back up to the field, not wanting to be out of the action just yet. A nice quick bridging effort there will bring Edwards back up to the field, adding 1 more at 4 to go to the group. You want to learn more about what we do here at the Velodrome? Maybe you want to get involved. You want to learn how to race yourself. We can help you with all those things. Velodrome.org is a great place to go. Velodrome.org, the education tab, has links for our adult classes and our junior camps. Registration's now open for all those opportunities. You can sign up through the website. Our adult classes are a great way to get out here and learn about the sport. They're 4 hours long. You get a track bike included with your registration for use during the class, as well as some discounts on your future races to get you started. You just sign up for the single 4-hour class, and after that, you're invited to be part of the novice category here, our Monday night field, where we do more educational work. You race in a small, contained group with a lot of helpful information, a lot of debriefing on some guardrails around the race, so you'll learn more about it. And then before you know it, you'll get the thumbs up to be a Cat 4 rider and continue on your cycling career here at the Velodrome. Learn more at the website, velodrome.org. This group of 6, your field, rotating nicely through who's at the front. No one's really attacking one another. It's just consistent tempo keeping right now. They see 2 to go. They know the bell will be ringing next lap. Sarah Lynch, number 15, pulls out of the way. There's Edwards. Your leader, of course, still Tomko with 5 points. That's rider number 3. They're now in the second wheel position right behind Kelly Darlene, who's currently in second place overall with 3 points. All of the riders with points are in this field, so we will see all 4 of those riders competing again to see if they can find some points here in this second sprint. They will find some one way or another. Can someone get in front of Tomko here? Darlene's going to try to figure out a way how to do it. 1 to go. We're making noise at 1 to go. Tomko on the lead. There's Watts right behind, number 10. She's been working her way through this season, getting stronger week by week. The rider from Breakfast Racing team is in a nice position here on the sprint, losing a little bit of ground to Tomko, but putting in a nice effort nonetheless. Westover trying to take advantage here of the position right behind Watts. Will try to jump around. Tomko doing exactly what they've been doing all season. Going to take another one here tonight. Tomko for 5, already essentially confirmed. It's Westover and Lynch fighting for it. Darlene had to go the long way around. And that'll wrap things up. Riders will exit on the back straight as they finished up. A couple more quick finishers here. Hazel Baker there coming across the line, one of our youngest riders in the group. It's been a bit since we've seen Jasmine back here competing, number 222, putting in her laps. And our riders will exit on the back straight as they have finished up. Your last group for the split scratch now coming to the rail is our Cat 4 men. To the rail for the split scratch. On deck, your Kiddie Kilo riders. Everybody in the Kiddie Kilo should now be heading over for their ready area, getting lined up by age. Kiddie Kilo riders are all called. Riders off onto the neutral. This one was going to go by quick, folks. 10 laps for the split scratch here. Bell at 6 and at 1 to go. Lots of great racing happening here at the Velodrome all summer long. Our regular season starts with our kickoff, which happened a couple weeks ago, usually right around the turn from May to June. And our regular season continues up through the end of the summer, usually into September, when we have a quick little postseason and a celebration at the end of the fun. That coincides with our summer, our sunniest days of the year, as the only enemy of good racing here is the precipitation. So if you're coming out on a Friday night and you're not sure, do check the weather reports. We will post if there's any cancellations or delays. And there's your whistle. Racing's underway. Where's the beverage garden at? Are you making some noise over there? There we go. Talked a little bit earlier about the adult class and the educational route that our riders can take here at the Velodrome. It's a great place to learn to race. If you've seen any Olympic track cycling, you may know that the banking on those smaller indoor tracks can be significantly higher than our gentle giant here in Merrimore Park. Great place to get used to the idea of racing on the fixed gear bike and competing. These riders are the closest that you'll see tonight to those that have come through that adult class, as some of them may have just completed it as recently as this year, even during their most recent season, or perhaps the year previous. Riders that are in this category have given the okay past their novice at the minimum to race and compete in the Cat 4s. So you're going to see a lot of riders, maybe even some without any of those what look kind of like maybe fancy team kits that some of our other riders are on. That's just because maybe they're new to the community. They're finding their place, finding their groups to race with. Our riders self-organize through teams and kind of create these clubs and these organizations that help support each other with either getting merchandise together or scheduling group rides and sort of sharing and pooling their resources together. It's just a natural part of the racing community in any place that you find a velodrome like ours. And off we go at 8 to go. A nice little attack here starting to form.
Once again, Kiddie Kilo riders, you are staging behind the beer garden, not in the beer garden, behind the beer garden by age group. So make sure you're in the right spot.
That was Calder Hardigan, I believe, 419, that made that jump, wearing that sort of darker green kit. Still in lead position. No bell yet. Gonna need to stay aggressive or maybe do a quick reset. We'll see how this next couple laps play out. At 7 to go. Bell next time around. Calder pulling up to the blue line, slowing down slightly. One of the things we learn, one of these fundamentals of track racing, go to the right means slowing down, go fast means go to the left. The lower on the track you are, the faster you should be theoretically be going. The area between the black and the red, the sprinter's lane. If you hear me use that term, that's what we're talking about, is that lane down at the lowest part between the red and the black. Sort of a protected area during any engaged sprint. 6 to go. Next time around, your first chance for points. On the outside is rider 409, Jack Donahue, riding now at the blue line. Has an advantage here in position currently. Ooh, here comes the second attack now around the outside. Might be Maxim, number 421 for the Jerry Baker Jr. is trying to get in position. Maxim for 5. Whoa! Dyna Racing with a great acceleration there. Will find second place on that sprint. Tony Miller, I think, third across the line for 2 points. Maxim Smegli, your early leader after that first sprint. Francisco Zapata, number 424 for the Dyna Racing team, second across the line. Miller, number 422, third across the line. And Brendan Lang, 428, was fourth across the line, currently in fourth. Three to go. Bell at 1 to go. There's one of your riders with points. Brendan Lang at the front, 428. Ended up in fourth place on that first sprint. Nice size field here tonight for the Cat 4s, considering the smaller size from our fields overall this evening. Still having a nice showing here from our riders. 2 to go. Ann Burkett shouting out Alex Siegel. Oh, that's a cute comment. Ann says, glad I met you 17 years ago today when I didn't even know track cycling was a sport. Alex nods along. He heard the comment. Bell's ringing at 1 to go. Your final lap here for the split scratch. Calder Hardigan at the lead again, seeing if maybe a slightly later timed attack here might pay off better. Woohoo, here comes one of the youngsters in the group, Gavin Fairbanks. Always taking notes from his older brother, and he's growing into a great competitor himself. He's going to try to spin things up here in the middle of this one. He's leading it out through turns 3 and 4. Fairbanks still at the front. He's digging in deep. The kid's still in good position. Calder's coming back into it. The junior down the sprinter's lane. Calder coming back into it. Calder, oh, Tony at the blue line. Calder, I think, second across. I think the junior got 2 points there, maybe 1. Great effort out of turn 3 from the little rider, Gavin Fairbanks. Racing age 12. Yeah, folks, that's what I'm talking about. If you're watching the Cat 1-2 field later, you'll see his older brother who races up with that group. He's gear restricted in his preparation for junior nationals and doing an excellent job amongst those riders as well. So he's got an older brother to look forward to, or look up to in terms of his preparation, as his older brother did very well last year in nationals and continues to be a great competitor here. Kiddie Kilo time. Slow down. Where are you going? Line up at the start line. He wants the big kid start finish line, you know what I'm saying? All right, Kiddie Kilo coming at you now. This is our fantastic Bring in the Community race. The kids take a lap around the track, and you only get to see them once, so this is your one chance to really put your hands together, make a lot of noise, as we want to let our youngsters know that we're here and having a great time with them.
All right, I got group 1, big kid time, doing 1 whole lap. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Yeah, they are. Here we go. Ready, set, go!
This is our big kid group, so the bikes will only get smaller from here. Some of our groups, you're going to see some training wheels out here later, and the scooters and all sorts of great stuff. Your push bikes at the very end in the scooter group. Get ready for them to come onto the infield here. Here they come. All the way around the track. The big kids on the big bikes. Nicely done. Straight lines, straight lines. Into the grass. Don't get creative with the direction you take the bike. That's scary.
We put the podiums over there so they can all go mob the podiums once they are done. Yeah.
Yeah, we can take pictures on the podiums. You can simulate your own, victories over there. It's awesome. All right. A couple more finishers here in this first group coming on the home straight. Great job to the kids. Well done all the way around the velodrome. Bring it on into the grass. Nice job. And your next group coming down now. Bringing them on out.
I know her.
Oh no, you should totally ring your bells. This is when you can ring the bell. Exactly. Okay, this second group, you're doing one full lap. People at the front here, are you ready? Yeah, they are. Here we go. One full lap. Ready, set, go. They're already going. Go, 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 go. Stay down low. Straight lines.
One kid goes on the track and like 5 follow. There's some sort of like societal study embedded in the behaviors in turn 1, you know? There's a greater truth about humanity. Of course, the greatest truth about humanity is that we all really like bikes. And we like kids on the bike smiling and having a good time. So that works out pretty well for us. We've been doing this program for a long time. It wasn't really until I feel about a year and a half ago where it really just took off for us. We've had hundreds of families and kids come through. Our average on a Friday night has been well over 100 little cyclists going around the velodrome, which means over 100 families joining us on a Friday night, bringing out their youngsters. We celebrate our connection to our community and these families and are welcoming to any and all who want to come and enjoy the sport with us. Part of our mission about making this place an inclusive environment, family-friendly, and part of our community, an educational place, a competitive location, somewhere where we have national talent and local families all enjoying the same place. So thank you for continuing to support us here with this endeavor. We enjoy being able to host the Kiddie Kilo week after week. Great work from these guys coming in, really exploring that whole track racing surface. Very nice. Nicely done. Look at the smiles on these kids. Oh my gosh. I sometimes wish anything I did was that fun. Oh, that's too good. Nice work, everybody. Couple more finishers, and of course the run-along parents, my favorite athletes of the evening. I used to run track too. There we go. Nicely done. Your group's coming through here, almost all finished up. Next group's coming up to the start line. Come on down to coach, down to the green shirt. There you go. Not through, just up to where she's at, please.
Just take for this lap. I gotta push my bike up. I want you to watch how I do this then. Okay,
All right.
All
You
right,
ready
we
down
got-
here, coach? I
We
think
got
we are.
it, I think. All right, you're also doing one giant lap as fast as you can. Are you ready? They're ready. Here we go. Ready, set, go!
All right.
Parents, watch
Hey,
out behind you.
Look at that. Take note there. I saw a really good push start there. That's how you give a good throw. And the group is on their way. That's a good looking parade there in turn 1. This group is following directions. This group is good. This is a good group of kids right here. They get to stamp the approval from the man on the mic. Look at that. All below the blue line. Ugh. Fills my heart with pride and joy. Oh, okay. Well, on the back straight, they're getting a little more exploratory. Just thinking this one lap, they've probably spun their legs around more times than the Cat 4s did the entire race. Just to make one lap happen. Look at them spin like crazy. It's a good time. We do this every Friday night, the Kiddie Kilo. It's a free program, so if you happen to have a kid you just left at home on accident tonight and they're not here, bring them next week. We'll get them out here on a bike, or of course, more likely you forgot the equipment at home. Just need to bring the whatever kind of bike, push bike, training wheels, whatever you got, tricycles, all good. Bring a helmet and your riding equipment for your kid along, and on a Friday night, we'll get you out here. The only thing that'll stop the Kiddie Kilo is that rain, so do check your weather reports, but other than that, we'll be here ready for you. Ooh, look at this group coming in. Whoa, oh, and a sprint for the finish. Woo! Inside takes it. All done, turn your left. There you go, into the grass. Oop, keep going, little one, a little further. There we go.
Yeah, once you finish, make your way to the podium. Get some photos up there on the top step. Go all the way to the podium. And you're going to stay there until all groups are done. So you need to stay in that fenced area until all groups are done.
Yeah, we still got quite a few more kids to go, so families and kids just hold on in there for a little longer for us. No bonus laps. Just stay within that little zone. We'll get you out all together once it's all wrapped up. Thank you. Cat 3 men will be coming back to your group after the Kiddie Kilo is all done. We've got the eliminations coming up. Once you've come into the grass, make sure that you are backing up towards the podium. Our infield volunteers there, / our Jerry Baker Jr. helpers, reminding you, just give lots of room for the incoming riders. Nice work to the kids finishing now. Well done. That was a long lap. Hey, Mom and Dad, I didn't expect it to be so long. Gee Louise. Couple more finishers here still. With all the great racing going on here, it can be hard to keep track of what we do at our velodrome. A great way to take a look at it is our calendar. We'll give you a nice overhead view of all the different things happening here. It's also a way to check if there's open track time. Sometimes we have nothing scheduled here, and it is publicly owned land. You are able to jump out here at your own risk and enjoy your time on the race surface. Always, of course, encourage safety in that time, but you can look at our calendar. If there's nothing scheduled, you might be out here and enjoy the race surface yourself. Oh, look at this celebrity status. Oh my gosh. Keep on going. We're almost there. All right, we're bringing out our next group. I don't think we're ready for the push bikers, though.
Hannah, push. We got one more group.
One more.
We got one more group.
One more. Okay, we have another slightly bigger kid group. Come on down. Push bikers, you're on deck. Keep those engines ready.
They're just so excited.
They really are. We are too. I get it. Bring it up to coach tomorrow. Nowhere past. Down to the start line. Hold on. Down to the start line. Oh, okay. It's tough, I know. They're running into a wall of kids. All right, getting these youngins lined up here. Your last group here before the push bike crew hits the home straight.
All right. I think this is going to be our fastest group. That is my hypothesis here. This last pedal bike group, let's get you turned around here. This last pedal bike group, are you ready? They're not paying attention. Oh, one person was. How about the stands? Are you ready for this group? Yeah, here we go. Last full lap. Ready, set, go! I
remember bouncing off of a rider at some point when I was racing, and I don't remember looking at them and smiling like that kid just was. They were like having fun with like the bumper cars of it all.
That is the biggest little kid I think I've ever seen.
Wait a second. What happened? Oh my gosh.
My knees hurt just watching
Yeah, that just looks awful. I mean, wonderful, but also awful. The circus lost one of their riders. I don't know. And they're wearing Center Cycles colors. Oh, man. Our last full lap group going around right now. The Kiddie Kilo series. Again, proud to be able to offer this to our community. Redmond has long been super supportive of our cycling community. Commuters, competitors, and everything in between. Merrimer Park has been the home of this velodrome since it was constructed in 1975. King County Parks, a vital part of keeping this place alive and thriving like it has been. It's a statement and a testament to the supportive community we find ourselves in. Keep going, kids. You're almost there. Keep going. Keep going. Got someone here on the home straight who says, like, that's enough. 3/4 of a lap is exactly what I signed up for. Thank you. All right, there we go. There's the finishing effort. Just need the parents to run too. It's like, I've done enough work. Why aren't you running? You're usually doing all the work in the house. Come on. Into the grass, into the grass. Good job. Into the grass you go. The biggest kid in the Kiddie Kilo we've ever had. And not the fastest. Impressive. Oh, the pass on the home straight. The basket proven to be faster, more arrow than the non-basket approach. More research needed. Oh, and rainbow versus unicorn here. The contest is serious on the home straight, folks. We know this is why you showed up. Look at this bunch coming to the home straight. One rider decided to take the blue line. That's clearly the safest route. I'm getting out of this mess. Those riders don't know what they're doing. Over here is good. Got all sorts of space. Down to the left once you get across the line. Nice job. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Anna,
go, go, go.
Send the push bikers. We're ready for push bikers.
All right, push bike derby about to start. All right, families, we're almost there. We got our last group getting set up, the push bikes. After that, we will start inviting you to exit. Hold on just for a little longer. Push bikes coming on down for their quick sprint on the home straight. You want to put your hands together for this one when this starts, folks. They're going to go real quick down the home straight and be done before you know it. After this, Cat 3 men, elimination.
Anna, helmet.
All right, getting lined up. It'll be just a second here. Kiddie Kilo just about wrapped up. Cat 3 men are in the warm-up circle, about ready for their race after this. Or already up along the rail, ready to jump out here for their position on the elimination.
Yeah, this Kiddie Kilo, they can go all the way up to the rail because they're just going to go straight. Yes, you must wear a helmet out here. That's one of our big rules. You must wear a helmet. All right, we're going to get these push bikers on our way. Spectators, beer garden, home straight, are you ready? Woo! Here we go. Push bikers, ready, set, go!
Make some noise for the youngest riders here tonight. Wow. Again, I think we need more research, but yellow does appear to be the fastest speed of them all. Unfortunately, none of our teams really are competing in yellow as a primary color anymore. We might want to fix that. Well done for all of the great competitors here tonight in the push bike. My goodness. Again, looks like we continue on this incredible 100 so riders. This is a big group of families here joining us tonight. And with that, we are going to start requiring our families and our kids to make their way off and out of the velodrome. You'll find your way wherever is easiest. You do not need to exit where you entered. You can find a rail anywhere. Families on the infield, we're going to request you find your way off and out of the velodrome. You may do so at any of the rails around. You do not need to go through the entrance. You can just go out wherever is convenient for you.
And we have stickers for everybody by the sign-in table. Oh, nice work. I got some people sprinting out of here.
Yeah.
Stickers. Go get your stickers. Let's get everybody out.
Exit wherever you'd like. You can head back again. Amara was just pointing out we have stickers for the kids back at the sign-in table. You can exit. You can jump the rail wherever is easiest. If you prefer, head to that exit area, and we'll get you out of here. Great job tonight. We'll be back in just a minute with racing. Cat 3 men are on the sideline right now, ready to jump out for their elimination. We're going to need everybody to exit to be able to continue with racing tonight. Everybody needs to exit for us to continue. Want to make sure you make your crossing nice and safely here before the racing starts. If you're out there on the live stream, thank you for joining us. We're happy to see what looks like another 50 or so of you live participants in the show. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been another of our Kiddie Kilo races here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, why don't you go ahead and do that right now so you can participate in the live chat and leave a little positivity and maybe call out someone here tonight you want to leave a little support or a little bit of love for. Or maybe the opposite.
There we go. Once you get out, go and keep moving. There's a lot of kids. So once you get out, go and keep moving. The food truck is amazing. Hit up the food truck. Sadly, the ice cream canceled on us today, which is a bummer. It is a little cold, though. But typically, we'll try to have a dessert truck. You guys go and make your way out. Grab your sticker. Thank you for coming. At this point, it's actually amazing how many of our Jerry Baker Juniors started in the Kiddie Kilo. It's actually pretty sweet.
All right, folks, we're there. It is time for us to bring the Cat 3s to the rail. Cat 3 competitors, bring it on up to the rail for the elimination. There they are. All right, getting lined up here for the elimination. We'll get them some information at the start with our officials, and we'll talk a little bit about the race format in the neutral. Now into the neutral for the elimination. This is a race format in which the last rider across the line every single lap is going to get pulled from the field. So it is important to be in a position in which you're not going to get pulled, be at least one position in front of the last rider every single lap until the end, in which case you're going to hear a bell with 3 riders left. The last 2 will race it out for first and second place. It's going to be a relatively short race because it's a small field, so the laps, of course, determined by the number of riders in the starting group. Our group's all together, so they should get the signal to start, and racing is underway. Eliminations. Next time across the line, last rider pulled from the field. Critical here is to watch the race develop from the back position. even in this small field, there's a little bit of work having to be done just to get around riders, to get in the right position so you are not the rider left out. Ryder Carlson might be feeling called out there with his first name said so much. He's our rider in the outside position in the black and pink of Epic, in a position to have to kind of fight his way up. He'll do so just fine. That's 3-4-1, Snoblin. 3-4-1, Snoblin. So my job on the mic here, not only to inform the crowd of what's going on and keep everybody up to date, but also for our riders. They're going to be listening for their number and name to be called as they cross the finish line. That'll be their signal to exit. The longer you last, the higher your place here. Campbell Harris at the back end of this one. Can he advance at all? Looks like he's not going to be able to just yet. 3:11, James Campbell Harris, 3:11. No elimination coming in here. Looks like it's going to be a rider in the back position now in the sprinters lane. 369 is Stan Douglas. Douglas. Down to 5, so technically the next elimination already is 5th place for the field. That's what happens when you have a slightly smaller group like this. You get to your top positions quickly. Mike Jors at the very back position starts to move up under the influence there of number 3, Rue Tomko. Putting the rider down the sprinters lane in a tough spot, but look, good acceleration here. 307, Jors. 307 on the outside. It looked like it was going to be maybe the inside position in a tough spot, but there was plenty of lane there for Luca to accelerate, leaving Mike Jors, number 307, to fight for his life on the outside. Just barely caught at the line there. Ryder Carlson leading this out. Conrad Mayer, your winner of the first race, in a tough position here. He'll swing out, though. Has to power up a bit here to hold on. 305, Conrad Mayer was not quite enough. Down to 3 riders. 3rd place getting pulled this time. You've got Ryder Carlson, the rider out of Portland, in the front position. There's Luca Ostertag Hill, number 320 in the middle, and Rue Tomko, currently 3rd in the lineup, trying to spin things up and hold on for another lap. Oh! 320, 320, Luca Ostertag Hill. The juniors both hold on to fight for 1st and 2nd head-to-head. They'll swing up a little bit towards the top of the track just to take a little bit of a respite here, knowing that it's a head-to-head sprint.
This is the last lap, though.
This is. They're taking their time on it, too. Okay, we're going to make this a 100-meter sprint at this point.
Sprint!
All right, Beer Garden, make some noise. Make him go faster.
Do they not what?
I don't know.
And you're done.
They're good, I guess.
I mean, Rue is racing twice.
Rue does have more racing to do. Great result there for Ryder Carlson of Team Epic. The 2 juniors happy to be at the top of that Cat 3 field. Nice race for them. They'll make their way off on the back straight as your Cat 1-2s are coming to the rail now for their elimination. I promise it's not as violent as it sounds. And we've got ourselves our Cat 1-2 men in another elimination race, a larger group this time. As you saw in that last race, the length of the race is determined a lot by the number of riders that are in the group. So this one's going to go quite a bit longer. Positioning in this one's also going to be a lot more important as the early laps. There's a lot more riders to work around. We're going to keep our eyes pasted on the back of the field a lot and see if we can watch our riders position themselves well for this one. The last rider is going to have to work a lot harder to stay in. As our riders get the whistle, racing's underway. The elimination for the Cat 1-2 men. Next time around, last rider in the group will be pulled. Right now, that's Andrew Martin at the very back end, having to work his way up. Currently on the wheel of, looks to be Scott Grinsel for Dyna Racing. Big swing up towards the rail there in the middle of turn 3. Our riders navigated just fine. And we've got one rider already starting to sit up. $109 Adams. Scott Grinsel also in the pink of Dyna Racing. Near the very back now, but he will position himself nicely. A good acceleration through turn 4. Start paying attention now to the lower positions of the track. $134, Haldeman. Haldy aware of the incoming call. So he peeled off a little bit early. He was in a tough spot there in the bottom half of the track. I believe that's JC near the back end right now in the stripes. Underneath his teammate Gallagher in the blue and the red. Ooh, here we go. Another one. He already knows it's coming. 169 is Pyle. JC Pyle. Shaking his head knowing he had nowhere really to advance and just kind of felt it was his time to exit. Gallagher now deciding to take over at the front. Your season leader from a season ago and currently at the front of the Omnium this season as well. We'll look to the back to see now where the elimination is. Nice movement along the rail. Should be safe. It will be 107 down at the bottom. Ben Flom at the bottom caught that time, 107. You're going to see that a lot here in the early laps. The top looks like they're going to be in trouble, the riders closest to the rail, but then they'll accelerate so quickly through turns 3 and 4. All of a sudden it becomes the bottom of the track where the elimination is going to occur. That's a very common theme in this race. Once again, it's Grinsel at the back having to do an acceleration, but it might be Darlene down low that's in trouble. $135 is Mike Darlene. Number 11 in a tough spot, Nafisek Zivia, the rider from the Uzbekistan national team. She's kind of down there at the bottom in the middle position, nowhere for her to go. So she might find herself in a tough spot. Same with Alex Siegel, who's now in the sprinters lane at the back. He's looking up and seeing what might be his future as the field's starting to swarm over him. Ooh, he's sneaking in. Can he hold on? He can. It's 199, Malikian, Serge Malikian. Siegel tucks himself into the field just enough. Nice veteran move there. Knowing that he's in a tough spot, he fights for every inch just enough. Malikian not able to sneak it in. Gallagher swinging way out to the back, having to rotate around. A lot of rotations happening in this field right now as the front guard has been changing a few times here. Look again to the bottom as the top is moving quick. 154 is Lynch. Andy Lynch, 154 down the sprinters lane. And the group will come over the top of him here as he'll pull off on the back straight. That's Siegel again coming all the way to the front. Gallagher right behind him. Devine, lots of change of the lead here as just keeps fully rotating, kind of like a big circle, stirring the riders around. Oh, this is going to be at the top now this time. Oh, off the back. 118, Grinsel. 118, Grinsel. We had one pulling away a bit early there. I was worried for what looked to be one of our juniors in a tough spot in the field, but he didn't need to accelerate. He was okay because we had a rider just off the back. Chris Wilson in the green in the tough spot in the back right now, but he's got the lane. He should be able to accelerate. Watch him come up to the rail and see if he can stick in another lap. It's going to be right in the middle of the group this time. Maybe Fairbanks in a tough spot. I think it is. 111, Fairbanks. 11 riders remain in our field, so we're about to get in the top 10 territory. We're pretty far away from the significant points here tonight, so riders are going to want to stick it in. If they made it this long, they're going to want to go another 5 or 6 laps, try to get in the top 5 positions. .104 is Danielson. 104. Looking confident out here tonight. Just didn't have anywhere to go in the middle of the field. They kind of moved around him on either side. Down to 10 riders we go. Andrew Martin wearing bib 102 is currently at the back end, but he's going to move well ahead of this sprint up alongside of Devine and now Sherfy. Siegel trying to find some space down low. Siegel, 123. Siegel. Close there between Devine and Siegel on the call. Very tight for those 2 riders at the line. It'll go in the way of the rider in the middle of the field. Siegel putting up a nice race here tonight in the elimination. Finds himself in 10th overall. .101, Gallagher. 101 on decision, Gallagher. That decision, as an explanation for the fans out there, is for going underneath. Looked like both wheels were down there on the blue line as he crossed the finish line. He had nowhere to go except forward, which would have taken him right into the rear wheel of the rider in front of him. So just wanted to create a little bit more racing space, which just wasn't available. Rider 11 is Nafasat Kozivia. 11. Our lone rider in that second line as the rest of the riders kind of flattened out into one big group. 7 riders now remain. Your winner of the first race, Sherfy's still out here. I have him as the winner based on the tie break, was Sherfy number 110. He's right in front of Martin at the back end of the group. We also got Chris Wilson's in the green for Found Cycling. Starting to flatten out here again. Whoa! 132, Quinn Kennedy. Wow. That looked like 7 riders across the finish line. Impressive. 6 remain. Martin has to accelerate again from the back. He's been playing this position at the back end of the field and just kind of creeping along the side each time, nice and comfortably. Now trying to put Sherfy into a tough position as he hasn't quite overtaken. A little bit of a box being formed there, and Sherfy's kind of stuck with it. He's going to find some room. 102, Martin. Whoa. Whew. Talking about trying to hold him in there, and Sherfy found a way to convince a little bit more space at the top of the field. Martin races it well. He'll exit in 6th overall here in the group. 5 remain. The next elimination is for 5th place. Andy Baker driving the pace nice and comfortably from the sprinter's line. He's looking good here in tonight's elimination. Can he hold on for a few more laps? Looks good here. 110 that time. Sherfy, 110. Andy Baker, number 108, like I mentioned, just looking so consistent here. The challenge is he's got some great sprinters in this group. The Portland rider, Summer Newlands, the winner of the first sprint in the split scratch, is still here, and there she goes to try to take over the front now a little bit alongside of Baker. You got the rider Chris Wilson from Found Cycling, and Harrison Devine, the newest name to this field as in terms of recently returning to compete here. Devine's got a tough position here. I don't think he's got the room. 128, Devine almost had it. The window was there, but it was so tight, couldn't quite find it. Baker keeps on the tempo. He's not even looking back. He's just going to keep the power going. He's basically in a time trial right now. There he looks to see the position of anyone else around him. Wilson starts to come up to him. Summer Newlands is positioned really well here to win this race. If she can find this lap here, that she just has to take the one-on-one, and I think she's got that one locked in if that race were to happen. Ooh, can she get enough here? Not enough. The power from Baker, so good here. 117 gets the call. Baker versus Chris Wilson. Wilson's not waiting. Good jump out of turn 2. You might have expected a couple more turns of the wheel there before the jump, but great acceleration from Found Cycling. But look at the counter here from Baker. He's got plenty. He's got enough. Chris Wilson will not have an answer for that one. Baker calls the bluff. So I got a little more tonight. Nice racing here for the Cat 1-2 man. Baker takes the elimination. Chris Wilson from the Found Cycling Guild with a fantastic race tonight finds second place. Summer Newlands Your speedster from Portland now becoming a nice frequent name up here at our velodrome. Takes third. Open women to the rail. On the track right now in the neutral, your open women for yet another elimination. And as you can see, this race format is dynamic. It is fun. The more riders that show up, the more fun we get to have watching this one go down. Last rider across the line, every single lap gets pulled down to the last two riders just about to come out of the neutral. Racing is underway. The home crowd loving this field here tonight. Loving to hear all of the applause from the home crowd. We do a lot of big races here at the Velodrome all summer long, but some of our biggest, we bring in talent from across the country, and they are always absolutely blown away by the community we have here. The number of people that show up to support racing, this facility, all the things that we do to make racing special here, and you're a big part of it. So thank you for showing up tonight. If you're here in the park with us and making the noise, our riders and our community is all built on the back of our local support. Valerie Holloman, number 207. Eleven riders remain in the group, so very quickly we'll be talking about top five before you know it, but we got a good couple laps here to set things up. This is a young field, a lot of young competitors out here. Is about half the race list here is Jerry Baker Juniors. Here they come for another pass at the finish line. That's Maya Reddy, 210. Reddy, 210. Racing age 17, junior competitor. It looks like Luna Mendoza in the red helmet at the back for the junior team, number 204. Jasmine, number 222, right in front of her. Here comes the acceleration. Can Luna get position here? Nice pick of speed, nice work. Oh, the youngster down the bottom. 201, Hazel Baker. 201, Hazel Baker. Once your youngster's about 8 years old or so is about the time if you want to take a look at Camp Velo, our week-long summer camp program to get kids racing their bike. Racing age roughly 9 to 16, sort of the prime time for the Camp Velo experience. You can register online at the website, velodrome.org, and learn more about our offerings for Camp Velo. Oh, Luna having to do another big dig here. She's looking down at the pedals. Get a little more power. It won't be enough. 204, Luna Mendoza. Throwing her head a little bit in frustration, but that was an impressive 2 laps of sprinting there for the young rider. Henrietta Watts repositioning nicely here, leaving out Jasmine Chang at a bit of a tough spot. And it looks like your rider in that back lineup just not quite able to hold on. 222. Jasmine, 222. There's Dennis walking underneath the patio over here. How's it going, Dennis? Yeah. Dennis Crane's here taking photos tonight, DBC Photo. enjoying all the views of racing tonight. You can get a second look at it from the camera of Dennis, who's been taking photos here for a good while and supporting us with his work. dbcphoto.com. Here we go, and it looks like one just off the back here is 203. That's Renna Fuller, leaving us with 6 riders in the field. I was mid-promo there for you, Dennis. I'll finish it out. The website is dbcphoto.com. He's right out there on the home straight. Thanks for taking photos for us and supporting. We use a lot of his photography on our website as well as our newsletters. Thank you for supporting the Velodrome. All right, we're back to it. 6 riders in the bunch. Henrietta Watts and Charlotte Westover at the back end. Watts has got the tough spot of the sprinters lane. The kid's going to go high. Watts is going to go down low. Number 10 is Watts. Westover goes high, Watts goes low, and the sprinters lane, as it often does, doesn't quite work out. 5 in the group now. This next elimination for 5th overall. Your leader for the overall omnium in the group so far, Rube Tomko at the very front of this group. At the very back, that looks to be Sarah Lynch. Both of the Jerry Baker Jr. team. Lynch waving it off. Had enough tonight, number 15. 1-5 getting the call. 4 left. That'll put Sarah Lynch in 5th place overall, leaving 2 of her teammates out there. Charlotte Westover's at the back of the group. Coach Edwards and Darlene both out there, along with Rue Tomko, number 3. There goes Darlene at the front in the blue for Rice University, leading the field currently as they come into turn 3. Westover trying to accelerate things here on the home straight, try to nip Coach here as best as she can. Edwards loves a good elimination, though. She's going to hold on a little longer. She says, no thank you. Westover knows the name's getting called, number 6. Edwards burns another match there to hold on for another lap, but can she hold on as the acceleration comes down the back straight? Here goes Darlene and Tomko trying to drop her here on the back straight, and that might be it. As these 2 riders start to pull away, they're going to start thinking this is a bit of a match sprint. This will be the one to go for these 2. Darlene and Tomko. Once again. Edwards finding 3rd overall tonight for Team Mama Bears. Right, nice and high here, and another nice jump out of turn 2. Textbook maneuvers here tonight at our facility with Darlene getting down the sprinter's lane ahead of Tomko. But much like we saw in the last time that jump happened, the rider in 2nd recovers quickly, overtakes in the turn, and then flies up track. Down track? Ahead track? I don't know. It's one of the directions. It's the direction of the finish line. Rue Tomko will take this one. Darlene with another great race here tonight in the elimination. Our riders will make their way off on the back straight. The elimination all wrapped up for the open women, which leaves just one more elimination tonight. Cat 4 men to the rail. Once again, we find ourselves in a neutral for an elimination. Our last group tonight to race the race. Hopefully you've been enjoying the show so far. If you're out there on the live stream, thank you for being a part of our production tonight. If you have not yet hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button, what are you waiting for? We could use your support. Our Velodrome is entirely run by a nonprofit organization, and your support out there means a whole lot. So thank you for tuning in. If you're enjoying anything here, make sure you leave a comment down below. Jump in the live chat if you're here during the live stream, or afterwards, leave a little bit of positivity and support for the Velodrome. Thank you so much. Our riders currently in this elimination will be getting started out of turn 4. Once again, a fairly similar size group to our open women, so it'll be pretty brief here as our riders get going. We'll get them started here in just a moment. Racing underway. Your riders all together here, going into turn 1. We'll start eliminating next lap and every lap for the rest of the race. Up after this, we're going to bring back up the Cat 3s for their scratch race. Everybody gets a scratch tonight at the end of our race program. Food truck's still here, beverage garden open, and the racing is still hopping and going good here tonight. Lots of great things still to see. And here comes elimination number 1. 436. That's Chris L. 436. Nearly 70 live viewers out there in the live chat right now. That is a great number for us. If you're here, make sure you have hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up. We love to see so many folks tuning in to enjoy the show. 426 to the call. Gavin Fairbanks, 426. The elimination racing has been good tonight. Fun to watch. It's one of our favorite formats here. Every lap has something to see, which is one of the reasons why it's so fun as an audience member. I really enjoy watching how the field moves. Tonight's Cat 1-2 men was particularly dynamic, the way they rotated through leaders at the front, and you saw the riders lead a lap, and all of a sudden they were at the back. You saw quickly that was moving about. Another elimination coming to the line here. 401, Jason Fuller. 401, Fuller. 7 riders remain. Fuller will exit here almost into the top 5 category here of our Cat 4s. And part of the development for these riders, we decided a number of years ago to gear restrict Cat 4s. That's why they had to do a rollout at the beginning. That means that the size of the fixed gearing they're racing on is the same. It's an 86 for those of you who know about gearing ratios. Riders now coming in for another elimination. 421 is Maxim Smigley. 421. A little sign of frustration there as he put in a good effort to hold on to that one. Just didn't have the room to maneuver. Ran out of track. 6 riders in the group. Raymond Chang in the purple all the way at the back of that orange helmet in the tough position to come around at the top. But he's got the room. He's got the opportunity. Starting to accelerate now. Ooh, the fight is on. It's a good one. 422, Tony Miller. 3 riders bunched up at the bottom there between Calder and Tony. What a fight to stay in another lap. Nicely done. Miller will make his way off, leaving us at 5 riders now. Your top 5 on the track. Chang at the very back right now, trying to hold on again. He did it last lap. Can he find another acceleration here onto the home straight? Oh, good kick of speed. May not be enough this time. It will not be, and he knows it. 405, Raymond. It's very British sounding. That's because it is. It has another name, which is Devil Takes the Hindmost. That's another name for this race. And it's because of that position at the back. The Devil is the rider who just waits at the back and keeps taking another rider out by just accelerating at the last moment. It's that fun of kind of being at the back position. Good acceleration at the right time is all you need. You don't have to work at the front. Just a little sprint here and there. Sounds easy, but it's quite the difficult effort. Oh, another fight here down low. 409 is Jack Donahue. Will be done in 4th place. Donahue. Leaving us with 3. Francisco Zapata of Dyna Racing, 424, is at the front of the group right now. The 2 right behind him, I believe we've got Calder Hardigan, number 419 in the green, in the middle position currently. Brendan Lang, if I'm not mistaken, is 428 out there, the rider in the blue line. Now all side by side, the sprint's on, all the way out of turn 4. Who can spin up the best here to hold on? Oh, down in the sprinter's lane, making it a little tough here for 424 who gets the call. 424. Francisco. They got the bell. It's the final lap. It's a head-to-head between number 419, Calder, And that's 4-2-8 Brendan in the head-to-head down the back straight. Here comes Calder with a nice acceleration into turn 3. Trying to hold on. He's got the shorter line. This is the advantage to the right of the inside position. Brendan's re-accelerating it. Head-to-head. Here we go. All right. On the inside, it looks like 419 does get the call to be across the line first. That's right. Calder Hardigan with a nice hard-earned win there to end the Elimination Series for tonight. We're ready for Cat 3s to come up to the rail for the scratch race. Now adjusted to 20 laps. 20 lap scratch for the Cat 3s to the rail. We now bring our Cat 3s up for their final race of the night in the neutral for their scratch race. 20 laps on the lap cars. This is a race for the finish line. We're going to get a bell at 1 to go. First rider across the line at the end of the race is your winner. Take all the crazy rules out of the way. It's just a race for top speed. Lots of ways racers can get there, and the different formats might have a breakaway in a larger field in a group like this. I think we're going to get a lot of group riding, though. We only have 8 riders in the field tonight, so more likely they're going to stay together. There's going to be a lot of group ridings to kind of work down the lap carts together. A couple of attacks here and there from someone named Peter Snoblin, maybe. But other than that, I think it's going to be sort of a group ride to get to the finish line for a lot of this race. Not going to be a surprise, and we'll have some big speed at the end. Our Cat 3 is about ready to get the signal to start their race out of turn 4. And with that, racing's underway. 20 laps to go. Stan Douglas takes the lead of the first lap. Number 369 now on the front of the field with James Campbell Harris right behind. Your winner for the elimination, Ryder Carlson, out there on the early attack. This is not what I expected right from the beginning, but it looks like these two are racing in a team sprint all of a sudden. We've lost one rider in the lead group here. We'll come back and look at the field now heading into turn 3. That's Conrad Mayer leading the effort right now, your group of 6. At 17 to go. Douglas is about 150 meters up on the group right now. $17 to go. That's Luca at the front, number 320 for Liquid Velo Racing. If you're enjoying the show, the big show that we do here, our Friday Night Race Series, is every Friday night through the summer months at 7 o'clock. Come on into the park between 6 and 7 and find a great place to sit. Bring in the family, bring in the picnic stuff if you'd like. We'll have the food truck and the beverage garden ready for you each time, as well as the racing. Just make sure that it's not raining before you pack up your bags. Douglas still in the lead right now at 16 to go. But the pedal strokes looking like they're getting a bit more tired here as he's put in a big sprint effort to start this race. Making sure he gets his training efforts in here before the race concludes. Peter Snoblin on the front of the group of 6 now with Mike Jors right behind. And there's Ruud Tomko, again, double dipping this evening. Wants the extra laps. Jors on the front. You have a comment to check the posted results order in the women's elimination. Okay. Might have to check that. It just needs to be sorted. All right. We're on it. Thanks for the comment. I think we're taking care of it, but I do appreciate that. So looks like there might have been a sort issue when it was initially posted, but I think we're on it. I have let the team know. At 14 to go. Still this group of 6. This is the team ride I was mentioning where riders are going to take their turns at the front. More effort spent when you're leading the field than when you're at the back. No surprise there. You're going to be right into the wind. If you're at the front, everybody else benefits from the slipstream effect. So take your turn at the front, help keep the tempo quick. Rest up at the back of the field once you've taken your turn. And with a group of 6, there's really nowhere else to go but just go to the back of the lineup, rest up there. You might occasionally see someone try to sneak back in the middle of this lineup, but I just don't think you're going to see that here for several more laps. This is going to be relatively static here, nice and consistent for several laps. Carlson there at the front, your winner of that elimination race. A little bit of a gap here between Mayer and the rest of the group. That'll let Carlson sneak in kind of mid-formation. Snoblin now in the front. Part of what makes these races more dynamic, of course, the more riders that you get, the more different ways the race can play out. And tonight's Cat 3 field is on the smaller side, means it's going to be a bit more predictable here for a while. But our upcoming Cat 1-2 men does promise to have a lot more opportunities for some interesting kind of things to be going on all throughout that race. We've got a good-sized group here tonight. Plenty of great competitors in that group. Now, not to say that these aren't great competitors. This is a strong field, and they've shown it all night long. Mayer in the middle of this field, kind of coming in tonight, might have been my overall strong pick for the field in terms of just overall performance out of the remaining athletes. Ruud Tomko, never a slouch, and they've been competing at a very high level all season long. But you'll recall in the elimination, it was actually the rider here at the front, Ryder Carlson, for Team Epic, that found the win. Nice combination of top speed and acceleration. Good savvy in that last race, knowing when to accelerate. And those things will really be important here in this scratch race as we work our way towards the back half of this one. They just passed at 11 to go, so we're nearly halfway completed on this 20-lap scratch. On deck, the Cat 1-2s, many of them already going to the warm-up circle, will be coming up next. Many of our standard big races we do here are coming back again this year. We've got the Junior Takeover as part of our calendar here. Maybe you're cross-country now watching on the live stream. Yes, we have a junior-focused weekend of racing, including clinics and training opportunities specifically geared towards junior competitors. And what's better than coming to the place where Junior Nationals is going to be held to prepare for national-level competition. Junior Takeover registration is available on our website. Friday Night Racing that week will also include adults. You may sign up through the normal Friday night registration process online for the Junior Takeover weekend. We've also got racing coming back for the Marymore Grand Prix, our national class top act of the year. And of course, USA Cycling Track Junior Nationals are here. Cannot wait for those exciting moments to return here to the Velodrome later this summer. Calendar of all of our events and more descriptions can be found on our website, velodrome.org. Peter Snoblin has put in a bit of an effort here on the previous lap, kind of pulled away from the group, and Carlson is like, no thank you. Zooms up to take over and take charge once again. Does not want to see this thing break apart at all. 8 to go, and the junior showing that they're starting to get some really good top speed put together here. He's got a teammate that's already made its way up into the 1-2s, and maybe he's trying to get there himself before the end of the season. After catching Snoblin, not as much being spent here. There's a couple riders peeling off quickly to rest up a bit more before the next speed is needed. At 7 to go. In a group sprint, you've seen, again, a good showing of top speed in that acceleration we just saw a moment ago. Carlson's got the top speed needed. If it's a bunch sprint, the junior has, I think, the advantage in this field. The rider right in front of him, Conrad Mayer, if he can make the sprint a bit longer, he's got great power over that distance. He's got a big gear on there. He can roll it really well. If he can get on top of it in a good position, the rider for Dyna Racing could still be your winner here in this group tonight. It's going to come down to the timing of that sprint, the positioning between those two, I think is going to be the kind of the big storyline here when we get to the end between the rider who was right at the front and the rider at the back of this field. And of course, no matter what I say in the end, could be any of these riders out here tonight. There's still plenty of laps and opportunities. Snoblin, the rider currently on the front, I know him as a rider who wants to try to get away in sort of a solo break sort of a scenario. This small of a group is just making it very difficult for him to find that opportunity. He's not looking for the group sprint. He's trying to get away, try to keep it quick. At 5 to go, your 6 riders still all lined up for this finish. Tomko there at the front, number 3. Your junior again being in 2 fields this evening. They've been dominant in the open women's field so far this season and trying to get a few extra laps here of these Cat 3s. It's going to be tough for them to find a victory in this group considering the double laps being spent here. I talked about him earlier. Snowman does not want this to go slow. He is going to reinstigate the speed. That moderate tempo, not fast enough for him. He wants to keep this hard for this field. He'll pick up the pace on the back straight. Carlson responds quickly. At 3 to go, the field is back up to a higher tempo after the attack from Snoblin. Nobody else really wants to do that pace, so as soon as he peels off, Carlson kind of maintains tempo, and as soon as he pulls up, the group kind of puts on the brakes, and that's when Snoblin says, no, I said we're going this tempo. He comes right back up to the front. He's going to reestablish. He's trying to peel the riders down a little bit, work them down, try to beat down on their overall endurance here as much as he can. 2 to go. The field is right on top of him, and there goes Mayer. I talked about him wanting to get this thing rolling a little sooner. He does that at the 2 to go mark. He's trying to get on top of this powerful gearing that he has, trying to see what advantage he has against the junior. The junior was latched onto his wheel, though. He did know this guy's the threat. So I'm going to hold onto the wheel, follow his acceleration, make him do the work. Carlson gets on the front, he pulls up, he's going to re-slow this thing down. A nice move. He doesn't want to go at his tempo. Here goes Mayer again. He's just got to go, go, go. Carlson's fine with that. He's going to jump back on the wheel. Luca Ostertag Hill trying to get up there, number 320, but just not quite enough yet. He's still a ways back. After the bell rings, Mayer's just forced to lead this kid out. All we have to see now is a jump from Carlson, and the kid will take it. And that's exactly what he's going to do here down the back straight. Try to take over, maybe a bit earlier than he needed to go, but I think he's got enough finishing speed. He can hold on to this. Mayer versus Carlson. Mayer's got some good power. It will not quite be enough. The kid's happy with the result. Well ridden there. In the head-to-head, Mayer, great competitor tonight. Could not pull away from the junior. He worked like glue on that back wheel, and boy, that worked well. Cat 1-2s now up to the rail. Great finish there in the scratch race. As you can see, these are fun races. Cat 1-2s now to the rail for their 30-lap scratch. About to get their start here. Cat 1-2 men now into the neutral for their 30-lap scratch race. This is our biggest field of the night. Their top speed, the highest. They've been averaging in that 30-mile-an-hour range on every lap they've taken this entire season. We saw Andy Baker with an impressive win in the Elimination, our featured race tonight. He's going to try and come back out here and make a show of this one for sure. Also look for the junior, Merrick Gallagher, to find a bit more success tonight. Haven't seen him on the front as much as we have in previous weeks. He may try to make a bit of a splash in this one as well. With this many laps and this big of a group, this promises to be a dynamic and interesting race to watch. Riders coming into the start of the race now. Racing is underway. 30-lap scratch race. Speaking of Gallagher, there he is near the front, and there goes J.C. Pyle. I think he might follow the lead of the two riders we saw in the last field, Stan Douglas, James Campbell Harris. Another rider that's training for the sprints, J.C. Pyle, a junior sprinter amongst the best of them we've seen. He's going to put out a real fast couple laps here. He's like a 30-lap scratch. Are you kidding me? Take the 0 off the end of it, maybe. He's very quick as a junior. Great top speed, great power on the bike. But, you know, endurance is just not the game he's really playing for, so. That's right. Who needs endurance? Come on now. Nice top speed showing here from the junior. 28 to go. And that'll be his 2-lap effort. Up he goes to the rail. Summer Newlands, another rider I didn't talk about just briefly in my race overview. We saw how powerful she's been in the first 2 races tonight. She's on midfield right now with a gray jersey, white arrow helmet on, kind of backing up into the middle back of the pack now. Another racer to watch at the end of this competition. If she can stay in the midst of this field, will certainly be a figure to keep your eye on. Chris Wilson there at the front for Fountain Cycling, number 105. Made it deep into the elimination. Great competitor in a scratch race, and I've seen him do some really interesting moves. Very crafty racer. Knows when it's time to apply the pressure, when it's time to let it go. Scott Grinsel pulls up and out of the way. I believe that was Danielson at the front for the pull through turn 4 at 26 to go. Devine and Malikian side by side with Gallagher right behind. Again, the red and blue jersey, that's the leader's jersey for the season, being worn by the junior at the front. The rider with the most number of points up till this point, gained by getting victories and places in these races. Not doing as much to kind of be at the front, just getting a good effort here tonight. Might have to check in with coach. Maybe he's kind of geared down, find a way to just kind of be in the field and get his exercise that he needs, because it's really important for his preparations for junior nationals, and last year representing in junior worlds as well. An international quality talent. 3 riders breaking off the front. That's going to be Summer Newlands at the front of this group of 3. Also wearing the Stars and Stripes tonight, a champion himself. It's Keegan Fairbanks making this break, and Harrison Devine in the group of 3. Won't call it a break just yet, because that gap is it's dissipating pretty quickly as Sherfy, number 110, decides he makes it his mission to make sure this stays together. Catches the leaders, and they'll all peel off and take a quick rest. Plenty more laps to go now as Danielson takes over the front. Wilson again now to the front of the field. 23 to go. Gallagher, Quinn Kennedy, Serge Malikian. A couple of these riders been floating at the front, making sure that they take the front of the field and keep the tempo pretty quick. One rider I mentioned in that pre-race moment there during the neutral, Andy Baker, number 108. I haven't seen him at the front, just near the front. He's trying to do a very consistent effort, not take too much of the workload, but always be in position. That's the positioning, that's the brain of a very smart, well-practiced racer. He knows what he's capable of. He just doesn't want to spend too much energy in what is a decently long scratch when he knows he can just stay on the wheel of these other riders and be in position for when things happen. Gallagher's going to do a bit of an effort here from the front now. Your season leader off the front by just about 2 bike lengths, with Malikian trying to close in on him. Malikian accelerates just enough. Gallagher has done the work he needs to. He pulls up. Quinn Kennedy taking over the front now at 21 to go. Danielson right behind. Summer Newlands, number 117, right behind Danielson. And there's Baker for the first time taking over the front. So not one to shy away from the front for sure when the opportunity's there. Going to keep things going nicely. Baker will pick up the tempo. Once again, Wilson at the front. So the front half of this field taking all of the work. The back half kind of rotating around, letting riders kind of move in front of them. Don't want to spend any time at the front just yet. There's several names here just playing it nice and safe in the middle of the group. 20 to go with Devine off the front in the blue. Divine looking around, noticing the field still right there. This group is being very stubborn. Sometimes on these breaks later on, you're going to see these solo efforts, and they'll allow to get them away a little bit. They'll let them race down track just a bit from the rest of the field, allow a little bit of a gap to open up. But the earlier in the race this is, the more likely the field's going to be staunch and defend that distance and say, no, thank you. And with a distance of 30 laps, anything before the 15 to go mark, it's tough to get away from this group. Darlene for center cycles. Grinsel again for Dyna Racing, taking their temporary lead position here. 18 to go. We're getting now to the point where these opportune attacks may start actually paying off. So a rider like Quinn Kennedy might be thinking about the next opportunity. Tough to attack from the front. Everybody's already watching you. So they're going to peel off here, maybe get into position soon. Think about when they can re-accelerate things. Ben Flom's at the front. And Flom, one of our annual hour record attempters, loves to come out here and do the painful solo ride of an hour on the track. He loves a good tempo effort. He'll pick up the pace when he finds the front. Single file formation as the speed behind Flom was pretty good. Malikian tries to keep it going as well. On deck, the open women will be racing their scratch race, followed by the Cat 4 men in their scratch. That's going to take us to the end of tonight's program. Of course, the food truck, the beverage garden, open through the rest of our racing evening. So you want to come join us over here on the grandstands and enjoy the rest of the evening. We'd love to have you. The beverage garden's got plenty more room. Harrison Devine from the front now, out of the saddle, sitting back down into turn 3 and settling in for an attack. Since making a return here to the track this season, Devine has been this kind of racer. Just whenever there's a little bit of open track in front, quick to make the attack out of the group, force the response, keep it quick. Once it gets caught, you'll come back up, rest up again, look for another opportunity to send one off against the group here. Andy Baker takes over at the front. Nice consistent tempo he's looking for. He'll just keep it going. Hard to call and predict this race as there's so many riders still in this group, but you can see the tempo starting to peel off of some of the riders. This is kind of the goal, is to try to shrink this field a little bit. Ensure that any of the pure sprinters are having a tough time out there. Speaking of pure sprinters, I see Alex Siegel still out there in the mix. And just a season or two ago, kind of purely focused on the sprint side of his athleticism. He's the rider that's just about to take over the very front. He won't stay at the front long. He's being smart out there, but it's good to see he's still holding on to this good tempo and finding his way in this field just a season after abandoning the sprint focus of his training. Kind of trying to become a bit more overall well-rounded rider this season. 13 to go. Summer Newlands at the front now. Nothing allowed to develop still. The field all over just about every move they see. Newlands gives way to Kennedy. Newlands coming back in the third wheel spot. She wants to be near the front here. We're hitting 12 laps to go right now. Well past halfway through the scratch race. Get this, Quinn Kennedy was just at the front racing in a kit that I've been calling Act Racing. I hadn't been corrected. I've been calling it Act Racing for well over a year. I find out tonight it's short for a cycling team. I didn't know. ACT, now I know. It's a word. You put a word on your jersey. I don't know. I can read. But now I know. It's a cycling team. I think that's fantastic, by the way. I do love it. Plenty of riders out here tonight from that particular organization, including Quinn out there in the field, who was previously leading, now back about 10 positions or so in our lineup. A little more of the same here. Different riders at the front every 200 meters or more frequently, depending on how long riders want to stay up there. At 10 to go, we're starting to get into really critical territory, though, as a little bit of the fatigue is going to start setting in. Notably, Chris Wilson coming to the front. This is a very steady effort from him, not trying to reaccelerate things, just maintain it, do my duty, do my job, and then pull out of the way. Danielson not spending any extra time up there either. Several riders peel off quickly, including the slightly undergeared junior there, Keegan Fairbanks, racing number 111. And here goes the current leader for the season, Merritt Gallagher, waiting for near the end of the race to see if he can put out a nice solid 8 or so laps of top speed. Will that be the play? The field starting to respond pretty quickly, though. Nolan Adams was waiting for the move. Number 109 finds the wheel really quickly. And there's so many folks right there. Gallagher says, okay, I guess that one's not going to do anything. We'll try again later. That's the kind of effort you're looking for from him, but the field knowing how to respond quickly. It looks like Adams is kind of watching that wheel really closely. The rider from Dyna Racing is still behind him at the back of the field. Not a bad wheel to follow, your current race leader for the season. 7 to go. Divine trying to attack once again here. As the field's starting to swing high, I'll just stay down the sprinter's lane and apply the pressure again. Maintain good speed through turn 3. Pull up, and the rest of the field not willing to do the work. Another reset from the group as they swing high into turn 4. Who's left down low is Scott Grinsel at 6 to go. He'll just keep pushing on the pedals. He's got nice position. Why not? Malikian won't take the bait. The rider in orange pulls up to the right, and he's going to wait for the field to catch up. Underneath him, though, there goes Gallagher back from the field with Divine right behind him. There's Quinn Kennedy. Some of the strong distance riders in this group all starting to form up at the front. They're trying to keep this thing as quick as possible. This looking a little bit dangerous. Look how stretched out the field is now. This could be a big moment. Summer Newlands trying to jump up quickly at what could be one of the most important points of the race. We'll see how this one plays out at 5 to go. Gallagher pulls it out of the way. There's Divine on the lead. Tyson Danielson from the main field is doing quite a bit of work here to make sure this race doesn't completely shatter. We've lost some racers off the back now. Danielson in the Stars and Stripes comes around the outside of Scott Grinsel, who gets passed by the rest of this field. He'll be able to find a spot in the back here shortly. The lead group of 4 really just becomes the field as everything comes back together at 4 to go. Into the final mile of the scratch. Gallagher looking around for the next move. Down the back straight, Malikian above the red line. Looking around, waiting for the next attack. Expecting it to come from one way or another. Not sure where the next speed will happen here. Sherfy for Coalition Cycling comes up underneath him and then goes up to the top of the track. Still awaiting the next attack on this group. 3 to go. Baker sitting at the front now. Three short laps remaining. It's been quick tonight. No breaks have been able to form. Lots of attacks on the field. They've had a relatively light night. Not a ton of laps for this field. They've been fresh for the scratch. Seen overall, their speed was so high. This is the first time we've seen them take a couple of laps at anything under sort of that 30-ish mile an hour range. Sort of settling in here for a moment. This is going to be a bunch sprint and going to be a good one. With only 2 to go, they are getting ready to lock this one into one heck of a finish. Sherfy playing the lead role right now. Nice and high, lots of room underneath on the track to maneuver. Lots of noise you hear from the field as they yell out the move from Divine. Divine takes the attack out of turn 2. He's getting up to speed. He's going to be getting the bell first at this point. He's got a nice gap. The field now all in pursuit. First place in the scratch coming up for the Cat 1-2s. It's still Divine on the front hitting turn 4. Onto the home straight. The bell's ringing. The crowd's making the noise. The Cat 1-2s on their final lap. Divine. Several bike legs out in front. Here comes Danielson leading the charge with Malikian right next door to him. Summer Newlands is in a great position here behind Danielson. I called her name out earlier as a name to watch. Can she take this one home? Chris Wilson starting to line this thing up too. Danielson, Baker's in a tough spot. Can he get out from underneath? Ooh, he's able to get up and around the sprinter's lane. Danielson from the front. Wilson around the outside. Wilson, Danielson, Wilson will get it. Powerful sprint from the rider from Fount Cycling. Maneuvering nicely. The big guy from down there in the sprinters lane, Tyson Danielson, almost had that one. An impressive top speed showing from Chris Wilson, who has won a race here in so many different ways. And in that bunch sprint, an impressive finish for him. Puts it together nicely. You're going to have our open women now up to the rail. The K9 participant. We have not yet opened it that openly for the race categories. Someday we might find a place for the dogs, though. We got a lot of them out here. Your riders at the rail about to get their start for the scratch, and on deck, Cat 4 men for their scratch race. Stay tuned for a couple more races. Open women now in the neutral. Scratch racing. By now, I think we're pretty familiar with the race format, but one more fun opportunity here tonight for these riders to show us what they're made of. I'm going to look forward to this one, and this contest is going to be a 20-lap race. First rider across the line at the end will be our winner. The open women field been nice and competitive tonight. It's been Rue Tomko's field since the beginning of this season. Looking for them to probably find another victory in this one. If they can put together another impressive race, would not be surprised to see it. Hope you've been out there enjoying the show. If you're still participating on the live stream, enjoying what you're seeing, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate your support. For all of our fans that are still here at the Velodrome, we're having a beautiful evening of racing. One more contest after this one. Your rider's about to get the start. And there is the signal for racing to begin. We can hear the whistle from turn 4. Tomko at the front of the lap currently. It's a nice size group here tonight. We happy to see so many of our young open women competitors here tonight. Again, so many from our Jerry Baker Jr. team making their way out to compete every week. $19 to go in the scratch. 19 to go. Our group getting up to speed here now, currently under the power of Edwards at the front. There's Darlene to take over lead next. And you'll recall back to the elimination, Edwards finishing in third, Darlene second. So some of our big finishers there from the elimination. But at this distance, it's a very different type of race. I think Darlene will still find that this is going to be a good one for her tonight. She's shown that she's still in great race shape. Been working out nicely here at the Velodrome this season for number 7. Finds herself in finishing second and third in many of our fields, many of our races so far here in 2025. Sarah Lynch taking over the front now, another of the Jerry Baker Jr. riders, number 15. I think if I recall from the elimination, finishing all the way up in 5th place, so another one of our quick riders in the group. Henrietta Watts of the Breakfast Racing team there coming to the front, seeing 17 to go. I thought this field looked a little bigger. Number 11 jumping out to join them as well. From the Uzbekistan national team. Nafasat's been a presence here at the Velodrome this season. And I think for the first time this evening, joining in to race with the open women. Big hustle here. Westover really helping this thing start to scramble at 16 to go. Look at this effort from number 6. Renafola is holding onto the wheel nicely. There's Uzfat number 11 as well. Uzfat going to be taking over the lead here in just a second. Tomko right behind, and there's Darlene. So a lot of the names we've been familiar with. A little bit of a forward field now ahead of some straggling riders, as that last acceleration was a lot, sort of thinning the numbers just a bit. You can see everybody else around the track trying to work their way back up to this field that's trying to set this quick tempo, thin out the numbers early on. At 15 to go, it's Darlene. There's Westover. Westover's only racing age 15, the kid now on the front. Really seeing an improvement from last year to this year, seeing so much racing from her, and you can see that she's coming into her own in terms of good speed and tactics out here, figuring out the timing of how and when to be aggressive, how to utilize that athleticism she's starting to really develop. Great to see her making so many moves here in her open women field. At 14 to go, now we'll see Tomko, number 3. Tonight and every week, our racing is brought to you by a number of fantastic sponsors in our community and throughout the region. Many of them, you can see their beautiful banners and work there along the home straight. If you're on the stream, you can see their banners going by. And in a description down below, our video description has links to the websites of all of our great sponsors. You can show your support and thanks to them by being patrons of their business and saying thank you for supporting our local riders at the Velodrome. After peeling off some of these riders, some of that early action taking its toll, we're now down to a group of 7 survivors. Uzfat on the front, number 11, driving the pace. This further creating a bit more rift and division in the group. At 12 to go, this is becoming a bit more of an endurance event than any of our other fields have tonight. Really good tempo from the front. And enough so to really start making some separation here as Darlene now on the front of this group of 3. Your lead group going between turns 3 and 4 right now. The leaders down to the home straight. Navasat, number 11, peeling up quickly on the home straight, not wanting to take too much of a pull here. Number 7, number 3, all making up your lead group. Next rider on the track here, number 6, Charlotte Westover, just now entering into turn 1 in between the leaders and this chasing group of 3. The group of 3 chasing includes Watts and Lynch and Fuller, who just now come on the back straight and picked up a few riders as they lap them. To the front, we notice this rotation. They're looking pretty solid right now. These 3 riders working together through the progressions and sharing the workload, keeping it consistent. They're not competing against each other so much yet, as much as they're just working together to set up for a top 3 finish. Still Westover here in the gap, racing a tough race all by herself all the way in turn 1. The field, this group of 5 riders, a couple riders got caught down a lap, so they're now back into this field, but they are scored down the lap when that occurs, so that's what our group of 5 is. Crossing the finish line, we also have a chasing group of 3. Not caught by the field. They're behind the pace of the current riders on that same lead lap with the leaders. Here comes your leaders to the home straight. Seeing 9 to go. The front of the race trying to catch up to the back of the race right now. They're about to do so with some of our riders on the back straight. Chasing riders of the field all seeing 9 to go. On the back straight, you can see the acceleration from these 3, or I shouldn't say acceleration, the consistency in tempo and in speed has been very impressive. They have been really consistent on this effort, and this is an impressive overall top speed that these 3 are putting out together right now. At 8 to go. Looking a little bit like a team pursuit as they're just taking riders out one by one, taking them down the lap, catching riders here and there. Just now crossing the home straight, we've got our group of 5. That includes Westover now. She was off on her own. She needed a bit of help, needed a wheel to sit on. So this group of 5, still on the same lap as your lead 3. They're about a half lap back now, though, so almost 200 meters down from the leaders, who now hit the home straight and cross the finish line, seeing 7 to go. Little shorter poles from some of these riders. Darlene takes a very quick one, so a little bit of fatigue starting to set in at the tempo they've been at. Tomko able to keep things moving pretty good, though. Still plenty more power there. Nafissan on the front, also taking long pole, still looking like she's got plenty of power to give here at 6 to go. Nice team of 3, making it look very smooth. They could be competing in a team pursuit at this point. More than a half lap up on the field, who's now in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Coming back to check on our riders in this group of 5. Sarah Lynch on the lead of the effort currently for them. Henrietta Watts in second wheel position. There's Charlotte Westover, Luna Mendoza, and Renna Fuller as they cross the line at 6 to go. They're just in a consistent tempo. It's just not at the tempo of our leaders, so they're not making any ground just yet. They see 5 to go, and they're starting to look at the back end of this field with the possibility of catching. Closing into about 100 meters behind the field. And by behind, I mean 300 meters in front of. They're starting to close in on the group a bit. The field just saw 5 to go as they came across the finish line. 4 to go for your leaders. On their way towards a catch if they want to accomplish that, make that a bit of a goal for them this evening. Not that it's going to help them get any better than first, second, and third between the 3 of them. Might almost make their race harder, honestly, at this point. You'd have to navigate all those other riders to get to the finish line. Field seeing 4 very quickly, showing 3 for the leaders. 4 for the field currently, 3 for the leaders, although the catch is imminent. Riders have been caught. The field have been caught, so they'll all be seeing the same lap count. Leaders have caught the field. All riders will be on the same lap count now. They will be seeing 2 to go. Field and leaders are all together again, all seeing 2 to go. Navasat continue to drive the pace right along the red line there, bringing with Ruud Tomko, number 3, Darlene. They'll just keep on going. This is just a little speed bump along their journey. Great top speed from these 3 as they just continue to show great endurance tonight, such consistency in their effort. All riders will be getting the bell. Charlotte Westover will take this as an opportunity to push up towards the front. Not on the same lap anymore as the leader, so even if she finishes in front of them, she will be scored in 4th, but she wants to get ahead of the rest of the field. A great move for Westover. 1 to go. Your leaders on have picked up the lap or are at the blue line right now. The solo move from Westover setting up for what should be eventually a 4th place for her. We'll keep our eyes pinned right now on the lead 3, though. They're going to hit the blue line. Here comes the acceleration from the Uzbekistan national team rider. What an acceleration for number 11. Showing what she's made of. This is why she's racing with the Cat 1-2s. Great power and acceleration down the back straight. Top speed that we haven't seen in a bit here. What a move. Westover will take 4th overall. Your Uzbekistan national team rider number 11, showing what she's made of. Great acceleration. Tomko with a great ride tonight will find 2nd. We're reminded that though they've been dominant, they still can be bested by national quality talent in a race like that. Fantastic finish for the open women. They'll all exit on the back straight. And the track is open enough for our Cat 4 men to make it to the rail. Let's bring them on up. Cat 4 men into the neutral, their final race of the night, and our final race of the night. Friday Night Racing Series every single week at 7 p.m. We hope you've been enjoying tonight's presentation, this beautiful evening all together. We're worried it's going to be really chilly tonight. It turned out to actually be a pretty beautiful evening, all things considered. If you made it out to the Velodrome to join us live, thank you so much for being here in the park with us. If you're still out there enjoying the show on YouTube, thanks for tuning in and watching the production. This is going to be one more scratch race. I think you know the rules by now. 20 laps on the lap cards for the Cat 4 men, still currently in the neutral. First rider across the line at the end, of course, will be your winner. This group, lots of new faces in this field, lots of riders coming out of the novice field. I'm still getting used to seeing some of these names out here competing. It'll be fun to give one more time around the track tonight to see who can come out on top in this scratch race. And the whistle has been sounded. Racing is underway. Field seeing 20 go. Jason Fuller, number 401, will take the lead spot to open up this relatively long scratch race to finish the night for the Cat 4s. Long-running criterium race in Seattle happening tomorrow. Lots of other extracurricular activities happening around Seattle tomorrow as well. It's going to be an interesting weekend, let's just put it that way. I'm going to be out there on the microphone and enjoying the criterium racing in beautiful Volunteer Park tomorrow. Looking forward to what should be a beautiful weekend of racing there. Many of our riders taking it a little bit lighter tonight as part of their preparations for tomorrow's big race. Good to still see so many of our athletes making a good show of it this evening, though. In this field, lots of new faces. I was saying just a moment ago, for me, I'm just getting to see some of these riders develop and grow here this season, joining us out of the novices or returning from their time away for a little bit here. Francesco Sabato at the front, not a name I'm unfamiliar with, seen quite a few laps with this rider around the track. Raymond Cheng now at the front. Lots of different ways to race the scratch, but when everybody's got the exact same gearing and the field's not that large, again, expect a few laps of things staying relatively together. A little stretched out here under the recent acceleration. I believe that's Calder Hardigan, our winner from the Elimination, coming to the front to pick things back up again at 16 to go. Tony right behind, number 422. Couple riders from ACT out there. Position 3 and back there in position 6, now 2 and 5 as we got one rider peeling off from the front. $15 to go. Miller on the front of the lap right now. Brendan Lang, 428, has been a figure here tonight as well. Played into several fast laps this evening for this group. Right behind Zapata at the front there is your youngest rider in the group, Gavin Fairbanks. For the Jerry Baker Juniors, racing age, what did I say earlier, 12? No. Really? Golly. Doesn't seem real. A couple of youngsters out here. Maxim Smagley, racing age 14, also in this group. The other rider in the black and the blue of Jerry Baker Juniors, right behind his teammate. Membership on the team, registration, a pretty easy process. If you have a youngster in your circle that is looking for a race development team or an activity over the summer to become a part of. Need to know how to ride a bike, taking the class, have some idea what you're doing out here, but after that happens, you can sign them up for the Jerry Baker Juniors. Registration cost goes right back into coaching for the team, your merchandise, and all the preparation that goes into making sure the team is ready to compete. You can learn more about them online, jerrybakerjuniors.org, or head through our website, velodrome.org, and just find the link under education to learn more about our local youth development team, the Jerry Baker Juniors. Got a call out on the live stream for Jason. Someone's still watching here, the Cat 4s, and they're happy to see Jason Fuller on the lead of the lap a bit ago. Let's go, Jason. Where's Jason out there? Number 401 for Dyna Racing Team. That's who's getting the call out right now. 12 to go. Here's his teammate at the front, number 424, Francisco, Zapata. Nearing the halfway point, we're seeing 11 to go. Still grouped up as we might expect it at this stage of the race. Ten to go. Halfway mark for our scratch race. There's Fuller back to the front, number 401. Couple more quick laps here tonight for racing on a Friday night. Turned out to be a real beautiful one. About 6 o'clock or so, I was worried just how cold it was turning, but the temperatures hold nice and steady for us this evening. And the racing has been great tonight. Great racing in the elimination for all of our fields. It'll be fun to go back and rewatch later to see how those developed. You can rewatch all the racing action on our YouTube. If you haven't already checked it out, just head to YouTube on that smartphone. Search for Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome, or just JB Velodrome for short. You'll get there quickly. Check out all of the live streams we've done for all of our Friday night racing and special races over the last several seasons. And if you're already here watching the stream, well, make sure you check out the channel, watch some other videos. We've got some educational offerings out there. We've had some virtual clinics on some very popular topics about how to race certain race formats. There's some helpful guides about our community there. And of course, all those races you can go back and rewatch. Riders still remaining together here. A different rider at the front, but story remains the same. Everybody is tucked in here waiting for the finish. There's Maxim at the front. Pulls it out of the way pretty quickly. Wants to take a fairly short pull here. Seeing 7 to go now. Francisco back at the front. Right behind him is Raymond, number 405. And 419 is Calder. Saw 6 to go there. Your group's still all together, getting close to the finish here. Each lap, the riders starting to feel that anticipation building. to hear that bell lap and prepare themselves for that sprint. Five laps remaining. Four to go. Again, the anticipation building here in the next couple of laps. We know the acceleration is going to be coming, so now riders starting to think about their position a little bit, getting ready for that big jump that will be coming. There's the youngster Gavin at the front. Down the back straight, starting to see some of this acceleration now. I believe that's Brendan now, number 428. Making things happen here well ahead of the bell. So starting to feel that anxiety, a little bit of that pressure to move. Coming on the home straight now at 2 to go. That was 409, Jack Donahue, which is Brendan's teammate at the lead of the field on that last lap. Tony Miller now at the front, a little bit of slowing here ahead of the bell. And the bell's ringing, 1 to go. It's your final lap of racing here tonight on Friday night. And there goes Brendan off the front. A nice acceleration and a good setup for him. And a 1 to go. He's opened up a nice gap. Can anybody even cover this distance? Several bike links out in front of the field. Can anyone catch this? Here comes a counter from Calder Hardigan at the blue line. I don't think he's got enough time left to catch, but what a sprint nonetheless. Brendan setting it up very nicely. Will find the finish. Calder with a great acceleration out of the field, and Maxim out of the field will find third place. So Junior works his way up to the front of the bunch sprint. All right, and with that, we are concluding our racing for the evening. That means we'll be shutting things down here shortly. Beverage garden's still open for a little bit. Food truck orders on your way out are always welcome. That is, of course, the end of our regular racing program. If you're still here in person supporting the racing tonight, we thank you so much for sticking it out all the way to this point. That is so wonderful to have had so many great fans here on a Friday night, especially a chilly one like this one. If you're out there on the live stream, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button on your way out the door. Maybe share a video or two with your friends and family. Let them know you're watching some pretty cool stuff here in Redmond, Washington at our Velodrome. We'll be back with racing action again next Friday, 7 o'clock start time as always. Lots of great things to come in the month of June and, of course, July. The racing just keeps getting better and better. 2025 already. So many great moments and many more to come. Thanks to our volunteers, our staff, all of our officiating crew that's here tonight, our folks behind the cameras and the computers running the live stream, and of course, our athletes for putting on a fantastic show today, a great set of races for us to watch. We so appreciate the fun together that we spent this evening. And with that, we'll be signing off. We look forward to hosting you for more great racing action right here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome.